Alright, Monster Jam fans, welcome back. It is another day, it's another show, but this time it's a little different. You know, typically when we do a show, it's a full event or something along the lines of that. No, this is preparing for the full event. We have never done something like this here on this channel, so it's going to be a little bit of a different format than you guys would probably be used to seeing with a real show, just so that we can get it executed with my one-man band here. But this is a very important day for what we are going to be seeing tomorrow. For those of you who don't know, tomorrow is the official first ever BeamNG World Finals. And there will be 24 trucks competing. On that note, that means tomorrow we'll have high jump skills, racing, and freestyle. All of them. And so to make it, you know, work in all one day, we're going to have to change up racing a little bit. So as you saw yesterday with Last Chance Qualifier, every driver got a chance in each lane. Well, things are going to change up for the official event, and that is what qualifying is for. Today in qualifying, every driver will get one attempt to drive in each lane. Whichever lane they get the fastest time out of will be the lane they compete in tomorrow's event. So, it's a little bit of a different format than you'd probably be used to seeing, but today is basically going to be just like Last Chance Qualifier in terms of what the drivers are doing, but it's going to impact the way that racing works tomorrow. So now that we have that out of the way, let's go over that field of trucks, and then we will get into the official event. So here is your full list of drivers that you'll be seeing. We'll be seeing Ryan Anderson, Son of a Digger, Adam Anderson, Gravedigger the Legend, Weston Anderson in Gravedigger, Tyler Menninga in Gravedigger, Matt Cody in Blue Thunder, Todd LeDuc in Blue Thunder, Bryce Kenny in Monster Mutt, Blake Granger, Monster Mutt Dalmatian, Tristan England in BKT, Coty Saucier in Dragon, Brianna Mahon in Scooby-Doo, Cynthia Gauthier in Lucas Oil Stabilizer, Tony Ochs, Thunder Forest, Camden Murphy in Megalodon, Jim Koehler in Avenger, Chris Koehler in Mayhem, Joe Foley in Axe, Devin Winfield in Velociraptor, Jamey Garner in El Toro Loco, Zack Garner in Wild Side, Venard in the Black Pearl, Jon Zimmer Jr. in Terminal Velocity, Dalton Widner Jurassic Attack, and finally, Mike Pagliarulo in Excalibur. So it is a loaded field of drivers. There's some names you maybe expect to see, like Bari Musauer, Armando Castro, Colt Stevens, but they were not able to perform up to par this season to make it in. So those drivers listed are your 24 drivers who will be competing in no particular order. The order is actually going to be quite a bit different than that, which you'll see as the event goes along. So we're going to stop wasting time here. Every driver will get one pass in each lane. Whichever lane they get the fastest pass out of will be the official lane that they have to give their one pass in the official racing competition tomorrow. Enough words said. It's time to get underway with the first ever BeamNG Monster Jam qualifying event here on the channel. Up first here. See if we can't get that truck fired. Oh, my apologies, fans. 1 second here. Gotta fix something. Alright. We're good. We're ready to get into the action. And coming up first, your last chance qualifying winner, Chris Koehler in Mayhem. You can see that special scheme Chris has on the truck for this event. Love to see when he has something cool in mind. Now he's getting staged and ready at the line. Looks like he's going to restage here. Keep in mind, this is major. I mean, this is going to determine what you get to do for your one single pass to try and win. So there's a lot of pressure on Chris right now to really put down a good run here. Looks like he's about ready to go. Got that truck staged and ready at the line. Let's go racing. Chris Koehler going to be setting the bar here in qualifying. No one else has ran today yet. Chris, oh my goodness, a rare mistake on this track for Chris Koehler. He's going to try and save it, but no can do. Chris is on the lid. Man, what a shock. I mean, Chris was on his A game all day yesterday. He put on the both of the two fastest passes and last chance qualifying, but today he starts it off with a DNF. A tough break for Chris Koehler. We're going to send him back out there. He has one more attempt to go. The dirt squad has that truck flip back over. Everything looks like it's in tip-top shape. But now Chris has some pressure on him. You know, this is his last time that he's going to get the opportunity to put a pass down on this floor. If he doesn't have a good pass right now, too bad. He's not going to get to try again until it's the actual event, until it's actually worth all the marbles. So Chris, gotta be feeling the heat right now after a very rough first attempt. He's getting lined up in that other lane now. He's at the line. He's set and ready to go racing. Chris Koehler Mayhem trying to correct from his mistakes. Takes a very clean start this time. That might help him out. And a very clean first turn as well. Chris Koehler, he is looking golden right now. Slings it through the berm. Gets a little crooked, but is able to correct from his mistakes. And Chris Koehler once again is going to get a time sub 20. He's going to put down a 19.66 in the red lane, which means tomorrow in the official racing event, Chris Koehler will be competing out of that red lane. Something to keep in mind, those lanes, although they set down pretty close times, you know, they had to be built evenly since it's a whole racing course, but regardless, the way that you have to drive through each of them is definitely different. You have to speed up at different parts, you have to slow down at different parts, and you have to prepare to hit berms at different times, which all really can affect your race. So something to keep in mind there is Chris gets put in the red lane instead of the blue lane, even though yesterday his blue lane time was the fastest time we've seen on this track yet. So something a little interesting there for Chris Koehler, but regardless, we're going to move into our next competitor here, making his World Finals main field debut. This is none other than Tony Ochs and Thunder Roar's Tony. He's looking to make something good happen here. Chris did set the bar, but I think it is beatable. Regardless, it's not about beating your competitors, it's about beating yourself. You're trying to put down the best time you can because this is their last attempt. So Tony Ochs here, this is his first time running this track and the first of 2 times he's going to be able to make a pass before the big show. He goes green. Pressure is on for Tony. Like said, he does not really have experience on this track yet. He does very well right there, but gets just a little off course. That might slow down his time, but regardless, he's going to sling it into this last turn. So Tony correcting from his mistakes. Oh man, he's all over the place. And he's going to put down an initial time of a 20.67. So Tony Ochs 20.67 sets the bar for his pass here. So let's see, are we going to have another driver move into the red lane for tomorrow, or is it going to be a blue lane pass that we'll be seeing from Tony Ochs and Thunder Roar? So we're going to have to wait and see. He's preparing for this second pass. Keep in mind 20.67 that time to beat. Going to reposition here. Got to make sure you're dead straight there, or else you might get sent off a direction you don't want to be. Tony Ochs, he's at the line. Let's go racing. 20.67, a pretty decent time for Tony compared to a lot of what we saw yesterday. Now he has the opportunity to top his own time. And he is looking very, very well. Oh no, I jinxed it. He gets out of hand. Oh my goodness, Tony. Add another driver to the rollover list. And oh wow, that did really significant damage to that truck. I don't really know why, but the entire shocks in the front left just fell out. So it looks like it's going to be a blue lane pass for Tony Ochs tomorrow, as he puts down a 20.67 there in the blue lane. So Tony Ochs switching things up a little bit. No, it's not pre-recorded. I don't pre-record events like this unless I'm posting them as a normal video. But anytime I do a live stream and it's not a premiere, it is actually all happening live. I just try to keep it as realistic as possible, so I hone in on the event and not the things going around typically, until it gets to scoring. Once it gets to scoring, I'm acknowledging chat left and right for fan judging, and I still read the chat. the whole time. I just don't always respond to it because I like to keep things as realistic as possible here. On that note, we're going to move right into your next competitor here. This driver was voted into the main field by you fans over a pretty solid list of other competitors. So, something to keep in mind. This driver, you fans wanted this driver in the main field. This is Cynthia Gauthier, Lucas Oil Stabilizer. She has yet to put down a pass on this track ever in real life or in BeamNG. So something a little different here. Cynthia has to get a good pass down, but she's never even tried this track before. She's staged and ready. We go green. Slinging it through this first turn. Oh no! It's going to be a tail just like Chris Koehler. She gets into that blue lane, gets a little too hiked up on the berm, and puts it straight on the lid. I have a feeling with 24 competitors today, this is going to be something we're going to have to get used to. Because, I mean, this is a really tricky track, and you have to be able to figure it out, or else it will be detrimental. So, Cynthia Gauthier, a bit of a tough break there. They have her flip back over. They said everything's in good looking order. Or sorry, good working order. Everything looks like it's in good working order. So Cynthia Gauthier, she's able to go out there, put down one last pass. I mean, the truck has definitely seen better days. There's our tech official. He just went out there and made sure that truck was ready to go. So Cynthia Gauthier, one more attempt. She really is going to have to work on things after that first pass. She's staged, she's ready, she's at the line. Let's go racing. Pressure's on for Cynthia. You don't want to just have a DNF on the board, but if she can't get that truck under control, she might just have to deal with it. But it looks like she's doing a lot better on this second pass. Slings it through that red berm. Not perfectly, but not the worst thing we've seen yet either. Oh my goodness, Cynthia goes over again, and she is on all 4 BKT tires. What a way to close it out, and she has a time of a 20.26. So Cynthia actually puts down a better time than Tony Ochs, surprisingly. Despite having a bit of a rough pass there, Cynthia Gauthier, she will be competing in the red lane in tomorrow's event. So far it's been a pattern. We saw red, and then we saw blue, and then we saw red once again. So I'll be interested to see if this is a trend that continues on as the competition continues on, or how things will be impacted as the event proceeds. On that note, we are officially 3 drivers of 24 in. This next competitor, I know you out there are excited to see this one coming up next. Straight out of Digger's Dungeon, please welcome Tyler Menninga. Tyler had a really rough season. There were 6 events for the Destruction Series this year. Tyler only competed in 3 of them after an unfortunate crash took him out of the season for a little while. However, they did still deem him doing well enough to get him back in the main field, so Tyler didn't have to do LCQ. He does get the chance to get in the main field. Now he has the chance to put down the best time of the night. Tyler Menninga, he's off the line, takes it up that step up, and he is underway. A very nice turn through that berm. Wow, that is the best turn we have seen all event long. Oh no, but it's going to cost him. Oh wow, technical moves for Tyler, and he is on the lid. A perfect pass to a catastrophe very quickly there for Tyler. I don't know what he was thinking. It looks like he was just getting out of hand, and he decided to put it into a moonwalk just for show, but I think he went a little too hard in reverse because that truck went straight over onto the lid. Tyler Menninga. Wow, that all happened so quick. Well, fortunately, the truck looks like it held up fine. So the Dirt Squad, my apologies, the Dirt Squad has him rolled back over. He's back on all 4 BKT tires, and he's ready to go to try and get some vengeance here. He had a very, very nice pass going, but sometimes the luck of the draw is just how it's going to go. It didn't even look like it was his fault. It was a little bit. He went a little too early through that last turn and bit the ramp a little bit, but it sent the truck onto the lid. Tyler, one more attempt here. Try and put down a good time. He gets started on this next pass. Takes it up the step up. Very clean landing. Maybe a little bit undershot, but it's okay. Tyler, he's going to get a little oversteered right there, and it's messing him up quite a bit. Slaying it through that berm, though. The best turn we have seen in the berm yet. Oh my goodness, Tyler Menninga, he's going off track. He is through the air, on the lid. A lot of rare mistakes for Tyler. You can tell he hasn't driven in months. And, I mean, it's very evident there. However, he will complete that lap. And that's the thing you got to keep in mind. You know, it wasn't a great pass. It wasn't a clean pass, a fast pass. But it was a completed pass. And that's still a step up from what he did the first time around. So, on that note, Tyler Menninga, Gravedigger, will be moving on as he puts down a time of a 26.42. 26 because he did get a 5-second penalty for not getting enough tires up that final racing ramp. That is why he received a penalty. On that note, we're going to move into the next competitor, a driver who you might be a little surprised to see here in the main field. But he had a great performance throughout the season, and he did get enough done to be able to make it into main field. Coming up next, Devin Winfield in Velociraptor making his main field debut. He's off the line, no time to waste, and he is sky high. Wow, that's not really something you want to be seeing here in racing. But Devin made it work. He came out of that berm really quick, maybe a little crooked, but still probably the fastest pass so far, and he's going to ride that success to the very end. And Devin Winfield and Velociraptor starting it off strong. He's going to get a 19.92, kicking it off. Devin Winfield, he's looking wonderful. And that was in the blue lane. Now it's time to see, can he top that time? Or is it going to be a blue lane pass for that blue dyno? Well, we're going to have to wait and see as Devin Winfield prepares for this next run at it. 19.92. That time to beat. Devin Winfield at the line. He goes green again without hesitation, without warning. He just launched it out there. A great hit on the step up. He is looking perfect through this turn. Devin Winfield, he might be the driver to look out for in racing. Through this other berm, he's looking perfect once again. Oh no! Man, it was a perfect pass for Devin. Took it perfect through every single turn, but at the very end, he just barely oversteered, and that put him into a bit of an over-rotation, and it caused him to miss the racing ramp. Because of that, he will be penalized on that second pass, which means his blue lane pass with a 19.92 will be the pass that is counted. So Devin Winfield getting a time on the board, and he actually has the second fastest pass of the day behind Chris Koehler and Mayhem. So Devin Winfield definitely a threat here, beating out the likes of Tyler Menninga. So Devin evidently ready to go here in his first ever main field. On that note, we're going to move on to your next competitor, your reigning Monster Jam World Finals racing winner, Zack Garner in Wildside. Now, Zack knows this track very well. However, it has been a very long time since he raced on it. He has had that chassis changed up quite a bit since, so there's a lot to unpack here if Zack Garner wants to try and put down a good show. He stays, he's ready, he's at the line. Zack Garner putting down his first pass right here. More huge air. He cannot seem to stop doing that. Oh no! Wait! He's back on all four BKT tires regardless, so that truck looks like it had a bit of self-righting to do. So Zack has the opportunity to still finish this pass. He's coming flying through that straightaway. And the time for Zack Garner, a 25.51. So he's going to have to try and improve here He just got a little crossed up in that berm, evidently. And, you know, sometimes one little mistake can cost you, but Zack Garner, wild side, he's ready to go. And he's going to give this another try. 25.51 is time to beat as he moves from blue to red. Zack Garner and wild side, very, very nice through that first turn. Maybe a little bit oversteered, but he has his things together. No, he does not. Oh, but he's back onto all four BKT tires, so two crazy saves for Zack Garner today. He's going to accelerate over the line, but it's too late. A 25.72 is not faster, so Zack Garner, he's going to be in the blue lane tomorrow. And man, for a reigning world champ in this competition on this track, he's going to have to figure out what he's doing, because that wasn't the Zack Garner that I remember winning racing. That was certainly not the performance I was expecting. So hopefully Zack Garner able to get his things figured out. This next driver, this is one you're going to have to look out for. A brand new scheme here for the World Finals. Not a new scheme, but one that we haven't seen ran in a very long time. Being ran here special for the World Finals coming up. This is Dalton Widner, Jurassic Attack, the second Team Throttle Monster driver coming out here to hit the track, and the second and only remaining driver of Team Throttle Monster. So Dalton, some pressure here. Now, he made his stadium debut in this floor in his first World Finals appearance. So a lot of history here for Dalton Widner in SoFi Stadium. He's going to waste no time now to get started. Dalton Widner, oh no, not again. It's going to be another rollover. Man, that exact spot on that track, it seems to be that blue berm. It's been a tale where the blue berm is either the best turn that the driver gets, which we've seen a few times, or it is the end all for the driver that sends them straight onto their lid. It really has seemed like it's been one or the other, no in between so far. So, Dalton able to refire, everything looks okay. Apart from the cosmetics, unfortunately that brand new body wouldn't last long as Dalton rolled it. Fortunately, they'll have about 24 hours to get it looking nice again by tomorrow, but when you're debuting a body like that, that's never how you want it to go. Dalton Widner, Jurassic Attack, he is now setting up here. He's at the line. Let's go racing. Now, so far, we haven't seen any double DNFs today like we did quite often yesterday. And I'm sure Dalton Widner, Jurassic Attack, not wanting to be the first. He's going to oversteer that turn. It's really going to mess him up. But at this point, it doesn't matter. As long as he puts down a full pass, that's all he really needs. And put down a full pass he will, and not actually a bad time. I mean, not a good time. It's not a winning time, but it's a 21.08. And that's far from the slowest time we've seen. So Dalton, not the best time, but certainly not the worst time. And I think that's something to be proud of, is to at least have a time on the board that puts you in the middle of the pack. Because that means, yes, there's room for improvement, but it's a solid enough time to where it is a feasible feat to be able to come out and win tomorrow. So a lot of things to keep in mind there with that pass from Dalton Widner, but the main thing of those things to keep in mind is that he definitely can be a threat. He's just going to need to perform a little bit better tomorrow. Fans, I hope you're enjoying the show so far. It's been a crazy bit of qualifying so far. We are, I want to say, 7 drivers in, so with this next competitor, we will officially be a third of the way through competition. And coming up next in an all-new ride for the season, this is Bryce Kenny in Monster Mud. Man, this truck has been all over the place for him. Some events have been really good, some really bad, some like smack dab in the middle. The thing to keep in mind, though, is he wasn't super high up in points at the end of the season, so if he can pick up his performance here at the World Finals, now is the opportunity to really start riding that wave. So Bryce Kenny, he's trying to pick things up, but it's going to be another rollover on that blue berm. These drivers cannot catch a break from that blue berm. It has flipped over more drivers than I can name, and it has flipped over 2 drivers in a row. So it is insane to me how many drivers are just having awful luck out there on that berm. The Dirt Squad, though, they were nice and quick on getting Bryce flipped over. Truck held up, body not so much. Now it looks like what you would really expect a truck to look like for qualifying. Just a skeleton with the hood on it. So Bryce, he has one opportunity to try and better his work here. Now setting up in the red lane. The red lane has been the successful lane for all the drivers who didn't get a successful pass in the blue lane. But every drivers who have been successful in the blue lane have had the better time in the blue lane. So that's something interesting to keep in mind. The drivers who are at least finishing passes in blue are getting better times in blue. The drivers who are failing blue have been the ones that have been getting red. It doesn't look like anyone's just been openly going out there and getting a better time in red. And that's going to be the same story here for Bryce Kenny if he can get a full pass. Bryce Kenny off the line. A nice start. Definitely cleaner than that first pass he had. Bryce Kenny, he is looking picture perfect right here. Through the berm, maybe could have brought a little bit more speed. Yes, he could have. That sends him right off the track. It's going to be the time of a 25.94. Regardless, that is a finished time for Bryce Kenny. So something to keep in mind. He at least did put on a full time after a DNF, which is still very important. But, again, you got to keep in mind, that is another inconsistent pass. A lot of drivers look either really fast at the start or really fast at the end, but they can't stay fast for the whole race. And if that's a trend that continues, this is going to be a very interesting event to keep your eye on as we proceed through all these drivers. On that note, we're going to move right into your next competitor. And maybe this driver's got an advantage because his son, who drives a chassis very similar to his, had the fastest pass this track has seen. So if he's driving that same similar chassis, maybe it's an advantage here. Because coming up next, we have Jim Koehler in a Venture. Again, that CRC chassis treated Kevin Crocker and Chris Koehler both fairly well, but especially Chris Koehler, who has put down the 2 fastest times that this track has seen yet. So Jim Koehler may be an advantage because of that, but we're going to have to wait and see if he can perform well or not. Jim Koehler, he's off the line. Now, Jim has been getting faster and faster lately. It seems like every year he just starts performing better and better in racing. He got a little ahead of himself on that turn, but he recovers well. Oh, man, I don't know what Jim is up to right now. He just rode a bicycle through the racing course. And he's going to accelerate over the finish line with a time of a 22.30. 22.30. So Jim Koehler, an Avenger, he's going to have to improve here. I will say that was going really well for him, but again, he just put it down a little too much. I don't know if it was too much steer or too much power, but whatever he did, it was just a little bit too much, and it caused that truck to get hiked up. Fortunately, though, a good recovery. We haven't seen too many of those yet. So 22.3 for Jim Koehler. Can he beat or defend that time? Let's see. Jim Koehler off the line. He nails that landing right there. Very, very nicely done. Oversteers it a little bit. Trying to get a good recovery going, but just like that first pass, he's a little bit all over the place. Recovers. Oh man, Jim Koehler not getting it done here. Second time, a 26.06. So the time for Jim Koehler looks like it's going to be a 22.3 in the blue lane. He's going to be the first driver to advance out of the blue lane that didn't have all that good of a pass. You know, all the other drivers who came out of the blue lane, except for Zack Garner, all had a really good pass in the blue lane. But Jim Koehler is not going to be one of them tonight. A bit of a tough break there. On that note, we're going to keep things rolling here. We have still more than half the field left to qualify, so the action's still really just getting started here in qualifying. And we're going to move right into that next competitor here. Coming up next in a ride you wouldn't expect to see him in, but he's in this ride until the end of the week, where he will be in a brand new ride for the foreseeable future of his career. Coming up next, Camden Murphy. And Megalodon, that blue eye comes on. And Camden now has the opportunity to give down his pass here. Looks like he's doing a little bit of something different. He's testing out those ramps. A lot of drivers have just gone all at it, so maybe Camden getting some strategy in here that we haven't really seen yet. And you see him starting there. He's angling that truck just slightly turned to the right. He's going to get started here. Now, again, keep in mind that truck turned to the right. It really sent him to the right, so I'm not sure what he was... Oh, man, maybe that is the play. He is going to get one of the cleanest blue berm passes we have seen yet. Oh, no, too much speed. Camden, wait. Oh, man, I thought Camden was going over. He's going to get a nice recovery. So, Camden, some strategy that we haven't seen quite yet. And it was actually, it paid off for him pretty well up until he nearly rolled the truck, putting down a 28.54. So, of course, that pass didn't end how we wanted it to, but that start is something to keep in mind. We might see more drivers try copying what Camden did right there. He turned to the right a little bit before he went in for it, and it seemed to work out really well up until he just brought a little too much speed up that jump. One more pass here as he tried to top a 28.54. He's off the line. Camden Murphy and Megalodon, he skies it over that jammer. Coming through this first turn, very, very well executed. Camden Murphy, he's becoming one to watch. Oh no, wait. Oh my goodness, he's all over the place. Camden Murphy, he's trying to get back on the course. He's going to accelerate, and it's going to be a 24.27. So Camden, neither pass went very perfectly, but the point still stands. He was definitely looking quite a bit faster than a majority of the other drivers we have seen. And that's really what you got to be looking out for. You're looking for consistency. And although it wasn't perfection, it was still consistency. So, we're going to just have to see how things continue on there as we move forward through this event. On that note, we're going to get ready for your next competitor. And this driver has a new truck, a new body, I should say, on his truck. He's out here racing with the Garners. No stranger to the World Finals. This is Venard, the Black Pearl. The fastest time of the night, I should add, still Chris Koehler in Mayhem, who was the first driver to go out and who put down the fastest time yesterday. So Chris, he's got to be the projected winner for the World Racing Championship right now. I mean, he has been so consistent racing on this course. But coming up next, Venard and the Black Pearl. Taking one out of Camden's book. He's looking a little bit to the right there. No time to waste here. But taking that trick out of Camden's book to kind of start by pitching that truck right. He's going to roll it. But he's back and he is crooked. Man, it looks like the truck kind of straightened itself out after it rolled over. But he got on the gas a little too much and sent that truck all over the place. Cole trying to improve here. And he's going to cross the line with a 26.72. 26.72. Once again, 26.72 for Venard. So he's going to get this turn back around now. He's eyeing this track. Cole looking to improve. And the door is wide open. He's going to get started here on this second pass. Undershoots it a little bit, but it's alright. Looks like he recovers. Oh man, he takes that turn super tight. We have not seen that yet, but it looks like it really worked for him. He's going to sling through this final turn. Oh my goodness, can he get this back? Oh no. Oh, what a tough break. Venard, the Black Pearl, breaks it on the save attempt. That is some serious damage to that truck. Hopefully he can get that repaired. He has plenty of time before the show tomorrow, but still, you never want to be causing that kind of damage to your truck, especially at a time that it won't count. If it was freestyle, maybe it would be okay because, you know, people will like to see crashes like that, but when it comes to racing, you really don't want to do stuff like that. So, Venard in the Black Pearl, he's got some work to do behind the scenes. Moving on to your next competitor. She has not done too much in stadiums lately, but if she can perform well today, maybe she can find herself on the Destruction Series next year. We're just going to have to wait and see. Coming up next, Brianna Mahon, Scooby-Doo. Similarly to Camden Murphy, she's trying to test out the faces of those ramps right there. Something you always want to do as a racer. You got to understand the floor you're competing on. Brianna, she wastes no time to get her pass underway, and she is nailing it so far. I gotta say, she's looking beautiful in this run. Oh my goodness, though, a little bit all over the place. Nonetheless, she gets it back together. She is accelerating over the finish line, and it's going to be a 19.97. I believe that means she is the third driver tonight to get a time under 20 seconds. So, Brianna Mahon, Scooby-Doo, becoming one to watch out for. Putting on a time faster than the likes of a lot of the best racers in all of Monster Jam, including Tyler Menninga. So, Brianna Mahon, can she top that time as well? Well, that's what we're going to find out here. She's at the line. She's ready to go. Let's go green. Brianna Mahon, Scooby-Doo. Lots of stadium experience under her belt, but not recently. Will that impact her driving? Right now, it's not looking like it. It's looking like she is doing just fine. Oh no, I spoke too soon. She is going to put a DNF on the board. Brianna Mahon, an unfortunate break there. Nonetheless, though, a 19.97. That is a time to look out for. So the second pass for Brianna went pretty terribly. But regardless, she still had an extremely impressive first time, putting her in the top 3 right now. So that's still something to look out for. I mean, you can't count her out. She did a really good job. Now we're going to keep things going. Coming up next here. Oh, actually, we're getting into the second half of competition now, too. So we're now halfway through qualifying. And still, Chris Koehler, your first competitor, remains the fastest. But coming up next, Matt, Cody, and Blue Thunder trying to get a feel for that track. No other driver out here has a chassis quite like what Matt Cody has. So that's something to keep in mind. He is running a truck that doesn't really compare to any of the other trucks we've seen or will see. And we're just going to have to wait and see how that will impact his race time here. He's ready to go. He's off the line. Oh my goodness, huge air for Matt Cody. He was feeling out that ramp, and I thought he was going to have it calculated, but nope, he just sent it. He's looking a little bit all over the place. I'll say he took the berm pretty nicely, but he's struggling to keep that momentum alive. Nonetheless, he's going to accelerate. Time of a 23.12. I think the part that really hurt Matt Cody was just getting such huge air to kick off that pass. So he's got one more effort here to try to put down the new fastest time. That truck doesn't look to steer very quickly. But this track is a very tight course that kind of relies on your ability to steer. So, 23.12 is not a super good time. He's going to want to try to top that. Matt Cody, Blue Thunder, he's off the line, skying it once again. That truck loves to do that, I guess. Oh no, he is all over the place. Okay. That's a thing that I don't even know if is allowed on this track, but regardless, Matt Cody... Oh wait! He's gonna get a crazy save. But he's already too far gone on this pass. He tried to salvage it, but I mean, it gets to a point. That second pass, not even a time worth mentioning. It was just not clean at all. So a 23.12 is going to be the time for Matt Cody. 23.12, which puts another driver in the blue lane. So we're actually looking pretty much 50-50 on who's in which lane. I mean, it is a testament to the fact that this track is indeed built fairly. You know, if there was any doubt about that, well, this kind of should at least break that down a little bit, because we have seen a lot of very equal, a lot of very close passes here. So something to keep in mind. And coming up next to the track, please welcome Mike Pagliarulo, driver of Excalibur. Now Mike, he has some real pressure on him. This is his first ever main field appearance. And this is the first time tomfoolery has been in the main field since 2022. So, evidently some added pressure here for Mike Pagliarulo. Can he get it done? That is the question. Chris Koehler, your first competitor, still with the fastest time of a 19.66. Mike Pagliarulo looking to beat that time though, and he is off the line. Undershoots that ramp a little bit. We have seen kind of a mixed bag with that ramp, but he's looking very clean. That is what you got to keep your eye on. Mike Pagliarulo right now, maybe a cleaner a pass than Chris Koehler had. Can he center this out? Yes, he can. Mike Pagliarulo, you would never expect it, but the time for Mike Pagliarulo is a 19.53, which means he is now the fastest pass that we have seen, a 19.53. So Mike Pagliarulo, he's one to look out for. He is absolutely one to look out for, and he still has one more pass to try and improve. He's getting set up now for that pass in the red lane. If he can do well in the red lane too, then Mike will effectively be the most consistent driver this track has seen. And if he can get that title, I mean, he should be feeling pretty confident about his ability to do well. On the big show, Mike Pagliarulo, a picture-perfect pass. He does it. The time is an 18.67. 18.67. The fastest time this track has seen yet. So watch out, competitors. Mike Pagliarulo is the one to watch. He just put down the fastest time of the day. It is not as fast as what we saw from Chris Koehler's best performance yesterday, but the point still stands. Mike Pagliarulo was the most consistent competitor we have seen all day, putting down both of the fastest times, just like what Chris Koehler did yesterday. Absolutely unbelievable. Mike is not even known to be a racer. None of tomfoolery is known to be racers. They're known to be freestylers. But Mike said, not today. I'm going to prove that I earned my spot here. And Mike is now the fastest qualifier, with only 10 more drivers to go to try and take that away from him. I am in disbelief with those passes from Mike Pagliarulo. But in any news, it's time to move into your next competitor here. Refire, and here we go. Weston Anderson and Gravedigger. Weston had a little bit of a rough season. His first freestyle run of only 2 that he got to do was cut very short, but he's back to make his statement for revenge here at the World Finals. No, Weston Anderson, he had by far the cleanest blue berm pass that we have seen all event long, but it was only like that up until he came out of the hole shot and he got a little bit carried away. He was all over the place out there, and unfortunately that is just going to cause him, oh my goodness, Weston getting a little out of hand as he's trying to get to this next pass. Unfortunately, that is going to cost him there. He's going to get a time of a 27.06, a far cry from the fastest pass that he was putting down when he first started right there. One more ditch effort for Weston. If he can get another start like that one and not screw it up, he's really going to be one to watch. I mean, he still is one to watch just for getting that berm so cleanly, because no one else has really been able to do that except maybe Chris Koehler and Mike Pagliarulo. Weston, though, he is evidently looking very quick on this track. Oh no, wait! Oh no! Oh, he's gonna go over onto the lid. Almost saved it. Not quite. So that 27.06 is gonna be the fastest time Weston can get. Here's the thing. Neither pass for Weston went particularly well, but he took both of those first turns perfectly. Like, I mean perfectly. So if he can maintain that consistency and kind of take it both in the first turn and the last turn, Weston's going to be the one to watch. He really just has to hone in on not getting that truck to tip over, because that was the only thing that was costing him really at all. On that note, we're going to keep things rolling here. This driver is also in his first World Finals since 2022. Well, I should say first main field appearance. He was in the high jump last year, but this is his first time in the main field since 2022. So some pressure here. This is Jamey Garner and El Toro Loco. Jamey's purpose lately has definitely been to motivate Zack Garner to do the best he can. So Jamey, I'm sure, is going to want to be, there's going to be wanting to, there's what we're looking for, going to be wanting to put down a fast time here to motivate Zack to step it up tomorrow. Jamey Garner off to a clean start. Undershoots that a little bit, but it's not going to slow him down one bit. It's actually going to sling him into that berm very nicely. Jamey Garner also becoming one to look out for here as he perfects that outer turn. He is squared on the line in a 19.65. This is about as shocking as what we saw from Mike. Jamey, he's not the fastest qualifier, but he's in the top 3. Oh my goodness. Jamey Garner and El Toro Loco making a statement here in his first main field appearance since 2022, and his first main field appearance ever in El Toro Loco. He has one more pass to give here. 19.65 that time to beat for Jamey Garner. He's off to a very nice start. Undershoots it again, but it looks like it's going to help him out once again. He comes slinging through that first turn. Jamey Garner, this is the definition of perfection. Jamey, he is flying, and oh my goodness, I cannot believe it. 18.54. 18.54. The fastest pass this track has ever seen here in the BeamNG circuit. It goes to Jamey. You're kidding me. You would never, ever expect Jamey Garner to go out there and put down the fastest time. But here we are. Jamey Garner, El Toro Loco. He has something to prove out here. He just nailed it. Wow. There are only 8 drivers left. 1/3 of the field left to try and dethrone Jamey Garner. But right now, Jamey Garner is the fastest qualifier. Unbelievable to me. Well, on that note, 8 drivers remain. And right now, the time to beat is Jamey Garner's 18.54 in the red lane. Coming up next, the last Team Scream driver we will be seeing today. This is Joe Foley and Ochs. You can see that tire shine is looking very nice. Those tires are shining very bright. But now Joe, he has his work cut out for him. He's following up the fastest competitor. He has that never forget body on the truck. Oh no! Oh yes, Joe Foley! Showing that freestyle Foley energy even in racing. Oh no! Maybe a little too much freestyle Foley. He goes over twice in the same pass. If that's not Joe Foley, I don't know what is. I'm not even saying that to bash on Joe Foley. He's just a ragged edge driver, and he's always rolling it over. And I mean, that's why he's one of my favorite drivers to watch in the entire sport right now. Unfortunately, though, this isn't freestyle, and this isn't when you want to be rolling over all the time. So Joe Foley, he's going to have to try and improve here on this second pass. If he's allowed to get one, they're going to have to analyze that truck because, I mean, 2 rollovers. You wouldn't expect the truck to be in tip-top shape, but if it is, Joe Foley will be allowed to continue on. We have word that Joe Foley is officially allowed to refire here. Now, unfortunately, that special body has seen better days, just like Dalton Widner's special body got destroyed super quick. Joe Foley, in true Joe Foley fashion, just gives it too much and goes onto the lid. A great save at first, but an unfortunate rollover at second. Joe, now he has one more attempt here to try and improve, and that is what he's going to do here. When it comes to racing on courses like this, you really have to take notes on what goes wrong so that you can improve to go right. And Joe Foley evidently doing that here as he goes a little bit cleaner through the second berm. And he's going to, hang on, we're going to have to analyze this here. We saw on this side of the track, he didn't actually hit the correct jump. He hit one of the outer ramps instead. Because of that, he will be getting penalized. It is a 25.82 for Joe Foley. Regardless, that red time is definitely faster than that blue time. So Joe Foley will be slinging out of the red lane tomorrow for his World Racing Pass. His one and only World Racing Pass he will be able to put down. Keep in mind, that is what qualifying is determining today. It's not determining automatic advancements or anything like that, because that's not how this tour runs. The thing that is being determined here from this qualifying competition is really just, okay, is this driver going to be going in which lane? Is it going to be red? Is it going to be blue? Because they only get one shot at it, and that is what's going to make it so different than any other World Racing Championship we have ever seen. Fans, I hope you're having a good time because we are down to the last 7 competitors. This has been a great event, but all great things come to an end, and these drivers at the end of the day are still just getting ready for tomorrow. So, coming up next, bringing back a scheme we have not seen since 2021, Blake Granger, Monster Mud Dalmatian Galaxies. Blake getting to operate a special scheme, always a great feeling there. And he's off. The pressure definitely on here for Blake Granger, Monster Mud Dalmatian. Oh no! Wait, oh yes! Oh no, again! Can he get it? No, he cannot. Blake Granger, Monster Mud Dalmatian Galaxy, another driver bit by the blue berm. Getting bit by the blue berm is going to be the phrase for this World Finals, I have a feeling. Because we have seen it time and time again. I mean, drivers just cannot get a break from that thing. Blake's flipped back over, though. They said that truck is in working order. Now, here's the thing. He's got some interesting view here with that body falling apart from that crash. But the part that matters for Blake... Oh, maybe he's just going to shed the body, I guess. I don't know. The thing here for Blake is that You know, he still has one more attempt to try to improve, but this has really been a game of consistency. The best drivers, being Chris Koehler, Jamey Garner, and Mike Pagliarulo, were all consistent. They weren't just, oh, they just had one good pass. No, they were consistent through all their passes. Except Chris had one rough thing, obviously, but still. 3 of 4 passes, getting the best times, is still a great feat for Chris Koehler. Now Blake Granger, he's going to try here and improve. First turn looking very, very nice. No real complaints with that first turn, except maybe bring a little bit more speed next time. But Blake Granger, he is putting down an amazing time on that second pass. Blake, that was a picture-perfect example of learning from your mistakes, taking it into account, and using it to improve on your second pass. Blake Granger, Monster Mutt Dalmatian Galaxy, 18.81, the new fastest time. Whoa, where did I get that from? Not the new fastest time, but he is the 3rd driver of the day to get into the 18s. That means he's your 3rd fastest qualifier right now. And that is still a huge thing to keep in mind there for Blake Granger. He is one to look out for. Yes, he could improve on consistency, but the point stands, he is one to look out for. Coming up next, who better to go out there for racing qualifying than a world racing champion? 2015 racing championship went straight to this guy right here, Ryan Anderson, son of a digger. So far he has 4 world championships, and tomorrow he's looking to make it 5. But he's going to need to have a good qualifying pass if he wants to get the lane he wants tomorrow. Ryan, he's set and ready at the line. Let's go racing. Ryan getting a bit of a sky wheelie there. That's not really what you want to see in racing. Oh my goodness, he is really not giving us what we want to see in racing at all. He gets a donut in that berm. Somehow actually gets it to work out in his favor a little bit because it centered him really nicely. And he's just going to kind of coast this truck to a finish. Nope, never mind. He's all over the place. That is a 5-second penalty. So Ryan putting down a time of a 30.71. 30.71 for Ryan Anderson. Not a time you'd expect to see from a world racing champion. Nonetheless, he has one more chance to improve. The thing is, a lot of drivers have done bad in blue and then improved by the time they got to red. The drivers who did better in blue are the ones to look out for because they were ready to do good from the get-go. They didn't need a second pass to improve. That is why the blue lane drivers are really going to be the ones to look out for. And I'd say right now, the most threatening competitor, probably Tony Ochs. Or no, Devin Winfield. Yeah, Devin's definitely up there. Or Mike. Mike had a time in the 18s in the blue lane. And managed to top it in the red lane. So that was just sheer consistency there. Alright, well, regardless, Ryan's here to try to beat his 30.71 that he just put down. And I mean, if he can't, he's really going to be in trouble tomorrow. He got a little too high on that jump, but he's able to recover nicely. Actually, he's able to recover very nicely up until he gets a little out of control there. Regardless, he's going to... Nope, he's going to go over. Oh, wait! He's back on all 4 BKT tires, and he's actually going to get a better time than you'd expect for someone who went over. I'll say that. Ryan, a 23.02. Yet another driver who's going to pick it up once he gets into the red lane. That red lane is going to be looking very busy tomorrow. While we're getting ready for the next competitor, I'm just going to see how many drivers have gotten blue lanes. So we have seen 19 drivers so far. And of those drivers, we have only seen 8 drivers get blue lanes. So that's 8 drivers in the blue lane, 11 drivers in the red lane. That can still equal out as we head into the end of this competition, and maybe it will. It's all going to come down to driver performance. But it's still something interesting to keep in mind. The fact that that red lane seems to be where a lot of the good times are coming from. But at the same time, that could just be because the drivers are just improving on their previous works, and that they could have been equally successful in the blue lane had they done that lane second. So really there's a lot to unpack here with the way this system is operating. But on that note, coming up next, making his main field debut, Jon Zimmer Jr., Terminal Velocity. Jon Zimmer Jr. always been a great racer, always been a better freestyler, so we'll see how racing qualifying goes for him today. He's set, he's ready. Yep, he's within the lines. Let's go green. Jon Zimmer Jr. He's taking one out of Camden's book and putting that truck a little bit to the right. So something a little interesting. Oh no. Oh yes. Jon Zimmer Jr. did something I've never seen before. But the issue for that is that, well, it really messed up his time. He's still going to sling out here through this turn. And he sets down a 28.34. 28.34. Not the worst time, but it's definitely up there. I guess excluding DNFs. You know, there's been quite a few DNFs, so those would all be the worst times. But in terms of finished runs, Jon Zimmer Jr. not getting a very good time on the board. One more opportunity here to improve. 28.34 though, currently the time he has on the board. He stays, she's ready, he's at the line. He goes green, and he is trying to get a clean pass on the board because, quite frankly, he did not get one last time. Drifting that truck very nicely. No! Jon Zimmer Jr. a DNF. DNF for Jon Zimmer Jr., which means he is going to get that blue lane pass as his official time. 28.34 for Jon Zimmer Jr. So, yes, that puts another driver into a blue lane win, which is something we've been obviously keeping an eye on. But, I mean, thing is, it wasn't great. You know, it was one of the worst times. I think actually the worst non-DNF time we have seen all day. So, that was the worst time that was put as the fastest time. That is what I meant to say. So Jon Zimmer Jr., he's going to have his work to do tomorrow if he wants to go home with a World Racing Championship. On that note, we only have 4 drivers left, 1/6 of the field remaining. And coming up next, this driver is a World Finals champion, so he definitely knows what he's doing to take home a win at a competition, at an event with these stakes. With the stakes this high. Todd LeDuc and Blue Thunder. He's getting staged and ready at the line. Todd, he's off to a very, very clean start. You saw him trying to measure that out before he put down this pass, and I'd say it worked out for him. Could have been a little faster through that berm, but he's looking, oh no, he is not looking clean at all. Todd, what just happened? What? I'm astonished. I've never seen a truck move that way. He bounced off the barrier and did some sort of like sideways cartwheel. And they say he can refire. Fortunately, because that truck held up, and as we know, when you hit a barrier, you will probably be shut off for it, but on this series, we don't like to have hitting a barrier be a show-ending thing. You don't want that little barrier tap to be the end of the world. So we make sure that's not a thing that happens here on this series. Todd still gets to put down one more pass, but regardless, I mean, he really has some work to do. Todd trying to take it away from Jamey Garner of all people. Still shocked by that, might I add. But Todd, you know what? He has a lot of experience under his belt. So if anyone can do it, it's going to be Todd, but he takes way too much speed through that berm. Oh no, it's 2 DNFs for Todd LeDuc. Now, he did make it further on that second run, so he is going to be put in the red lane, but 2 DNFs is 2 DNFs at the end of the day. Todd LeDuc, the worst performance yet on this track, the single worst performance of the event, the only driver of the entire show to get 2 DNFs on the board. On that note, 3 competitors still remain, and they are your 3 series champions, so evidently they know how to drive. But will they drive well enough? That is the question. Coming up first, Tristan England, BKT. Tristan, a world racing champion. And actually, 2 of the 3 remaining drivers are world racing champions. So maybe the competition will remain close. We're going to have to wait and see, as Tristan England and BKT is next up on the track. Tristan, he's off to a nice start. Undershoots it a little bit. We've seen a lot of drivers get success from undershooting. Tristan, not one of them. Well, it would be success if this was freestyle or even skills, but it's not. Oh, okay, Tristan's just practicing for skills tomorrow at this point. Dude, Tristan's just got to end this pass already. This is, like, awful. I cannot watch this anymore. This has been the worst pass probably in World Finals history on any track. It's a 37.79. Give it up for your world racing champion. 37.79 for Tristan England and BKT. Wow, I cannot believe it. It's okay. He still has one more run to try to improve. If he can. He's not off to a great start, though. And from a driver who's been in 2 World Racing Championship races before, you would expect him to be doing a little better. Well, now is his one and only chance to get a score, or I guess a time, any better than a 37. And maybe he will. He's looking very clean. Gotta say, Tristan's one to look out for here, maybe? No. And he's on the... Whoa! What a save for Tristan England. And BKT, unfortunately, not going to be able to finish off that pass. That means the time of a 38 is going to be really bad. I mean, of course, not exactly 38, but a 37-point high numbers rounds to a 38. So, Tristan England, the new worst time of the night. I like how I've gotten the opportunity to save that for 3 drivers in a row just about them getting the worst time ever. Now, fans, this is super exciting. This driver, similar to Adam Anderson, also got a special scheme for tonight's show. And I gotta tell you, fans, this truck looks absolutely beautiful. Sorry, not tonight's show, but this week's show and tomorrow's event. Coming up next, your Thursday Throwdown Series champion. Give it up for Coty Saucier, Dragon Blackouts. Cody, he's trying to get set up here. Now that body looks absolutely beautiful. There is no denying it. So glad Cody became series champion just so I could see his body in action. This thing is amazing. And Cody's getting underway here. He's taking it through that berm. Very well done, Coty Saucier. He is looking perfect. Oh, no, he's not. Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow, what a save. Coty Saucier. Now we just got to try to give this a good ending, but... yeah, 29.32 isn't the ending he was looking for, that's for sure. Sometimes you gotta just roll with the punches, though, and Coty Saucier, not being off to a great start, he's gonna have to do that as well. A lot of people forget that Cody really has a wonderful racing record in Monster Jam. No, he doesn't have a Racing World Championship, but he won racing at the All-Star Challenge, which had a 24-truck field just like the World Finals. So in essence, yes, Coty Saucier is a World Racing Champion, and he has that experience and that success. So a lot of people don't seem to take that into consideration when talking about Cody, because it kind of just got lost in time. But no, Cody has wonderful history in racing and big shows, and he is going to continue on with it as he puts down one of the fastest times of the night. Coty Saucier in Dragon. There it is, 18.69. 18.69, putting him in the red lane. Coty Saucier, Dragon Blackout. Unbelievable job there from Coty Saucier. He had a rough first hit. He took notes. He figured himself out. Figured out what he had to do. Did what he had to do. And put down one of the fastest times of the event. Right now, that puts Cody at number 3 for fastest qualifier. So Cody's got to be feeling great with that time. But there is still one more competitor left to try and dethrone Jamey Garner, who had somehow, I'm still in awe by the fact that Jamey had the fastest time, but he still defends it. And there is only one competitor left to try and take it away. One of the only drivers in Monster Jam history to go back-to-back in World Racing Championships. He's gone back-to-back in normal wins this season as well. It's Adam Anderson, Gravedigger the Legend Silver. Adam, he's got some work to do. We have seen a lot of very quick times. Adam, though, oh man, I was going to say he's looking good, but I was wrong. He got a little bit oversteered there. That's the thing. When it comes to this track, you got to be really able to steer that thing quick. Whoa, what a save. Adam Anderson not letting anything stop him from completing a pass. Adam said, I'm a World Racing Championship. So, whoa. Yes, Adam is the championship. Adam said, I'm a World Racing Champion. I am not going to let myself get a DNF, and I respect that for Adam. However, it doesn't change the fact that he got a time of a 28.14, so Adam's got some real work to do here. He's set. He's ready. He's at the line, and he's going green. 28.14 so far the time for Adam Anderson. Can he improve on it? Well, he's going to have to. He's looking very nice so far. I'll give him credit for that. Oh my goodness, Adam might do it. He is accelerating. Adam Anderson, no way. I'm losing my voice. But Adam just did it. He put down the fastest time of the event, fastest time of the night, faster than Chris's LCQ pass. Adam Anderson, Gravedigger the Legend Silver. He is your fastest qualifier. And the reason I'm so shocked is because yesterday, Koehler was the last driver in the LCQ, and then he took home the LCQ win. Today, Adam Anderson, Gravedigger the Legend, he was the last driver to try and get a qualifying time, and then he was the fastest qualifying time. So I don't know how this has happened, both qualifying events in a row, but Adam is your fastest qualifier. He's putting down a pretty nice celebration just to put the truck onto the lid. You'll love to see it. You know, he didn't want to do that, but it's an Anderson. That's an Anderson kind of action. Whoa. An Anderson type of crash from Anderson action right there for Adam. Wow. So after all of that, even though some drivers were defending for such a long time, Adam comes out last and says, you know what? I can do it coming out here last. And he did. Adam Anderson, fastest time of the night, fastest time ever here in BeamNG, 18.32 in that red lane. Well, the bar has been set for the World Finals. Right now, your projected winner is going to be either Adam Anderson, your fastest qualifier, Mike Pagliarulo, who was consistent in both passes, or Koehler, who had 3 of the 4 fastest passes yet at the times that he was sent out. Jamey Garner also wanted to watch being your second fastest qualifier. Well, qualifying was insane. The action was honestly, maybe better than LCQ just because of how close some of the passes were. Great saves, crazy crashes as always here on the BeamNG circuit. You would never expect anything different here. And Adam Anderson, Gravedigger the Legend Silver, your fastest qualifier. Thank you, fans, for coming out. Tomorrow we will see high jump, skills, racing, and freestyle all in one day. You're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be more action than ever crammed into one event at the World Finals before. It's going to be action-packed and loaded. You're not going to want to miss it. Be there tomorrow, 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Until then, I'll see you at the World Finals.